Hi, everyone. I've got a breathwork practice to share with you today. Some of you may have done a 3-part breathing practice in your yoga classes where you start by breathing into the abdomen and then you breathe into the middle and upper parts of the torso in sequence. We're going to do a breathwork practice today that works the opposite. So we're really thinking about coming from the top to the bottom. And this is going to be partly breath work and partly a mindfulness or a meditative awareness practice for you today. Super simple. I hope you enjoy it. To start out with, you're going to find a comfortable position where you feel supported, relaxed, and able to breathe well. So for some of us, that may be seated on the floor or in a chair, or it might be lying down on the floor or on your furniture, whatever works for you. Feel free to lean back on something if you're seated, so that you can be a little bit more comfortable if that is something that brings you more ease. The first thing you're going to do is just notice what you feel in your body and just see, is there anything else you need to shift or change at this time that could help you feel a little more comfortable and maybe facilitate the ability to be still as you go through the breath practice. If you need to move, it's totally okay to move mindfully. And if you're able to still your body, you'll really be able to focus on what is going on with your breath and the sensations of breath. So if you need to pause the video to set yourself up a little differently, please feel free to do that. You're going to start by just feeling your breath just as it is. Sometimes that's easier said than done. When we start to observe the breath, sometimes we're in there already meddling, right? Changing things up, trying to improve upon the breath that we're breathing. Breath has this funny dynamic where it can be automatic and it also can be conscious. So we're going to try to let go of that conscious control just as much as you can, letting the breath be as relaxed as you can. So when you feel the body's urge to breathe in, you're just going to relax into that inhale, let it come. And just let the exhale go, nice and easy. No effort needed on that exhale. And then notice how it feels to breathe in this way. What's your breath like in this moment? Is it deep or shallow? Rhythmic or uneven? Fast or slow? Easy or difficult? Rough or smooth? What else comes to mind, whether it makes literal sense to you or not, helps you describe the experience of breathing right now? And then without changing your breath, you're going to bring your attention to the tips of your nostrils. Just notice you can feel the inhale entering, the exhale leaving your body. You might notice a difference in temperature between the inhale and the exhale breath at the tip of the nostrils. And then to the extent that it feels possible for you, you're just going to use your sense of feeling and maybe also your imagination to follow the path of your breath in and out of your body. So the inhale comes in through the tips of the nostrils, it comes up the nasal passages, down the throat into the lungs. The exhale leaves through the throat, the nose, and out through the tips of the nostrils. Now, if your breath is shorter or faster, you may not be able to follow the breath all the way in. That is a failure of our imagination, our ability to feel and conceptualize the breath. It doesn't mean you're not getting breath down into your lungs. Of course you are. So don't worry about that. But just to the best of your ability, if you're only getting in a little bit through the nose and then back out when the exhale comes, it's fine. Following in from the tip of the nostrils, up the nasal passages, down the throat, into the lungs. Exhaling back out through the throat, the nose, nostrils. Maybe feeling the exhale on your upper lip. If you're a visual person, maybe you want to imagine the breath has a color, following that color on the path through the body. Maybe you're just thinking or feeling. And then see what happens if you start to deepen your breath a little bit. So go slowly and gradually, following the breath in. And with each inhale, maybe you follow it just a little bit further on its path. Following the breath into the body, following the breath out of the body. And here's where, as your breath starts to come into the lungs, start to feel your breath filling your lungs, filling your rib cage from the top to the bottom. So the breath is coming in near the top. And then as you inhale, feel as though the breath is flowing down through the rib cage. Coming down to the bottom of the rib cage, and then as you exhale, it goes out from the bottom to the top, out through the tip of the nostrils. Now pay attention to how your breath feels as you're expanding it. So we want this to feel comfortable. No strain, no struggle, no feeling out of breath. Feel free to modify or stop if that's what feels best to you. If you can find a depth and a speed of breath that feels really easy for you to just follow in and out, filling from top to bottom. Sometimes it helps to say the words to yourself, in and out. Or maybe there's another word you'd like to use, just to help you track your breath. And then as you're breathing in this way, notice, does it feel different from how you were breathing earlier? Let's take 2 more cycles of breath after the one you're on, following the breath in and out. After that second exhale, you can let go of the control of your breathing, let go of the mental tracking, and allow your attention to expand like you're zooming out from your breath. You're just feeling your whole body again. Whole body, the rhythm of the breathing within the context of the whole body. Notice how you feel after breathing in this way. Notice how your breath feels. Have any of those qualities that you noticed at the beginning of the practice changed now as you're coming back towards a more natural or less controlled version of your breathing? I hope this has been really helpful to take a few moments to connect with your own breath. If you found this was helpful in shifting how you felt in a positive way, this might be a practice that you would benefit from integrating a little bit more into your life. Take your time as you transition back into the rest of your day. Thank you for practicing with me. May we all be balanced and well. Thank you.